Yes, my friends, spring has arrived, and don't let my wardrobe fool you. Yes, spring is here. It is the middle of March. Actually, March is almost nearing an end, but we did just pass the vernal equinox, so we are officially in spring. Now, here where I am in Spokane, Washington, we're still having mild winter weather, but there is a glimmer. There's a glimmer of hope for this week. I think we're supposed to go from 40 degrees and raining to maybe a 70-degree day. In fact, I would settle for a 60-degree day at this point. But anyway, I am ready for spring, probably like a lot of you. So spring has always been one of my favorite seasons because everything starts to come in bloom. All the animals come out. You know, the birds start chirping. It is a magical, magical time of year. And in addition to all of these things happening outside of the space, there's some internal things going on as well. You know, I'm ready to shed all of my layers and dive into more of the boho spring summer wardrobe, which for me is always in style. So with that said, I started going through doing some searches online for some items to make for my spring summer wardrobe. And as I started doing this, I started compiling a list. And it dawned on me, if I'm spending all this time compiling this list of patterns to make, maybe you'd be interested in it too. So today's video is, again, something that I just thought might benefit all of you. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 20 of the free patterns that I found for the ultimate 70s boho staples to have in your closet this spring and summer. Now, I haven't made any of these patterns, so I can't speak to the quality, but I will tell you these are on my to-do list. So as I make each of these, I will do a review if you're interested in that. In fact, if there's a pattern that you really like in this list and you want me to move it to the top of the to-do list, just comment below and then I'll move it up to the priority list. Since we're still having that cold weather, I can take a little bit more time with making these items. I don't have to make them, in a couple of weeks. So that gives me a little bit of time there. But I do really want to work through each of these items because I picked them all because there's something that just goes with the vibe that I want to feel this spring and summer. Now, I've been really into, patchwork recently. So, this is something that I've never done. Quilting, patchworking. I've sewed my entire life. So that's nothing new to me. But this whole, idea of taking fabric scraps and stitching them together and creating new fabric is really just inspiring me this season. So a lot of these patterns that I'm going to share with you, I may end up creating patchwork designs for. I'm not quite sure yet, but when I get there, I promise I will share with all of you. In fact, let me share one of the projects I did yesterday. So I created this little patchwork bow. So I made this with these fabric scraps that I had from another project that I had created. I want to say it was 2 years now. I mean, time, I have no sense of time with my ADHD. But it might have been last year or the year before, but I created my first patchwork quilt pattern. Didn't really follow a pattern, just stitched things together and loved how it turned out, made a pillow, and then I moved on. But I had all of these leftover squares, so now that I'm into this cool little patchwork vibe, I was able to make this. So I think that that's kind of the direction that I'm going to be going with some of these items. But anyway, you're here to see these free patterns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I have them itemized by tops, dresses and jumpsuits, bottoms, and just some miscellaneous items. Every single pattern that I'm going to share with you in this video are going to be linked down below, so you'll be able to go there. They all are current, so I can tell you that the links work as of today, which is March 23rd. Oh, it's March 23rd. Tomorrow is my 23-year anniversary to my husband, if you can believe it. 23 years. I don't know. The time just flies. Anyway, ADHD, come back. So I'm going to link all of those down below. And like I said, they're all going to be accurate links, working links as of today. Also, as I mentioned, these are all going to be free. Some of them may just be drafting your own items. That's what I typically do. So I love self-drafting because it allows me to fit items directly to my body and also work with the fabric and see what it's telling me. So let me give you an example. And I may have shown this before, but this is one of the pieces that I made a couple of years ago. This was vintage fabric. So I think this is a vintage curtain. Okay. So it's a vintage curtain that I just self-drafted into this halter style, which is super, super easy to wear. The one thing I will say is when I drafted this, I went in a little on the sides. So I have a little bit too much side boob for me. But I did try to find some patterns kind of along this vibe, just so you can, see what I'm, where my brain is. All right, so without further ado, let's dive into our patterns, and we are going to start with our tops. So again, all of these are going to be free patterns. So the first pattern that I have here, this is one, again, I was searching for that 70s vibe. So this is here. So this one is DIY halter top, 70s inspired. This is from Merrily Rose over here on YouTube. So in this video, she actually walks you through how to draft using items that you already have in your closet. I did watch this video. It was easy to understand. It was easy to follow, super inspirational. So this one is going to be currently at the top of my list because I think it is so stinking cute. And again, all these links will be down below. Then the next item when it comes to tops is actually kind of a twofer. So this one really inspired me, and this is from Mood. Now, I've talked about Mood patterns a lot because Mood offers a whole giant collection of free patterns that you can download, and all you have to do is each time put your name and your email in. When I first started using these free patterns years and years ago, I thought that I had to put a different email in every single time, and so that I would only download like one pattern every few months, and then I realized that's not the case. You can use your same email address every time. But this actually is the apricot assemble. Those are not the words that I wanted to say. The apricot ensemble, okay? And it's a two-piece. That's why I was saying it's a twofer. But I love it because what I saw, do they have the picture on here? There was another version of this. In fact, let me show you over here. This is, I'm gonna make this really big so you can see. Look how stinking cute this version is. So this is just another version that Mood had on their site. This is what drew me to this pattern because it's looks to me, just like the first one, I feel is going to be super beginner friendly. This one right here is going to be a little bit more maybe confident beginner. I think that's a great way to say this. Because there are a few different pieces to it, but I just love how it has this little lace up detail here, but pretty sure you can stitch that in place so that so you have coverage. And then I do love the little peplum ruffle, and you can make this longer. So there are definitely ways that you can, again, these are free patterns, but you can hack them in many different ways. So you could always add a little bit of length on here. You could also change up the straps, whatever works for you, but I was absolutely in love with this pattern. Now, as you can see with this pattern, it also comes with a bottom. So this is like a loungewear set. You could use super soft fabric, and yeah, you could totally lounge around. But honestly, I mean, who wouldn't wear this out on a hot summer day, like going to a picnic? I think. Now, of course, I would change the fabric and I would do more of like a 70s boho floral print. But I think that this is a good representative of or a good representation of what you could do, and maybe this will inspire you. So definitely, I'm excited to make this one as well. Now, this is the pattern, okay? So this one is from Sewing Panda. So this is a self-drafted item. Actually, this one is not self-drafted. She does provide an actual pattern. So if you like printing patterns, let me get it here so it makes it a little easier. If you like printing patterns, this will be one for you to follow. So there is a YouTube tutorial, and I think let's just check it out together. So Sewing Panda, again, I did watch a bulk of this video. And then I think down here, yep, and here's the link to the free PDF pattern. So it'll walk you through the steps. Again, the pattern that's on this fabric is not what drew me to it. This is a little too geometric, not quite the like color story that I'm looking for, but just imagine this in more of a boho vibe. Again, different ways you could hack it. This does have a bow back. I know this one doesn't show you that it does have the back there, but it does have a big thick bow. You can extend that bow if you really want an exaggerated one, which, you know, as I mentioned, I'm kind of obsessed with bows right now. In fact, I didn't even show you. This morning, I added some bows to these little sleeves because I just thrifted this sweater and the sleeves were too long. So I just, you know, did a little ruching and added some bows and it's perfect. So yeah, different ways you can customize this. Again, super easy tutorial to watch over on YouTube. Now this one I added because again, it's self-drafting, okay? So it looks super complicated. When you see this, you might think, oh my gosh, this looks so complicated. It's got a wrap, it's got flutter sleeves. You know, this one might be hard to do. This one does, it's from a Son DIY, and it's a butterfly top. Let's check that out really fast. So here is the video. And then I think throughout it's just gonna be a self-drafting pattern. I did watch this one, super simple to follow along. So you can see they go through and they show you what the steps are going to be. This one does include some bias binding or bias tape, which makes it so much easier. So it's going to be super light and fluttery because you won't have different layers. Now, I love a lined top, don't get me wrong, but this would be really cute over like a little bralette or something like that. So super excited to make this one as well. Now, this next one, you're getting a 4-in-1. This one I stumbled across. I think that I don't even know how I found this one, but I did watch this video and it was great. It was a great YouTube video, the Essentials Club. And in this tutorial, she actually walks you through how to make all 4 of these. So I'm including this as one entry in the 20 items, 20 free patterns, but you could use any of these. And again, change up the fabrics to reach that aesthetic that you're looking for. Of these 4, I don't know which one's my favorite. I do love doing shearing. I think shearing's a great way. In fact, I have a pattern I'm going to show you a little bit later that has shearing. But I think this is the one that I really, really loved. It's kind of precious, but depending on the fabric, it could be, you know, a little bit harder. But anyway, this one, easy DIY cami style stops. This is from the Essentials Club. Now, if you're looking for a different type of top, maybe something that has bows. I know, what's this thing with me and bows? But from Jessica Shaw, she has a self-drafted bow side top, again, with a YouTube tutorial. And this is the item that you'll be able to make. So what I really like about this one, I do prefer a higher necked item. So this one has a high neck, and then also you can control the length. This is going to be a little bit cropped here. And then the bows on the side, it gives it a little bit of a peekaboo, but not so in your face. So I really like this. And what I'm planning on wearing all these tops with, by the way, I love a high rise, like flare, that real 70s vibe. I really enjoy that. So I think that would look great with this because you'd have coverage for your legs, but then you'd be able to have a little bit of, you know, air conditioning on top. Okay, and then I have 2 more entries here that I want to share with you that I am excited to make. Both of these are from the same creator. So these are both from Tiana's Closet. And Tiana's Closet, there are patterns. So these actually are the free PDF sewing patterns. Again, I know that not everyone likes to watch YouTube videos to create garments. Some people do prefer to use patterns. So I did include kind of a combination. So this one, again, super relaxed with the bow sleeves. You can make the V as deep as you want. I really like this one. I think that it adds to that nice, comfortable, easy breezy boho aesthetic. And then this one, it looks a little, you know, it's a little precious. It's a little sweet, but I love a ruffle. And I think that it can still have that boho vibe. Again, imagine having patchwork fabric here, kind of like, not Little Red Riding. Who am I thinking of? Raggedy Ann, if you know who that is. You know, I had a little Raggedy Ann doll when I was little, and I'm just imagining this cute little tie in the back top that is done in patchwork, and I think that would look super cute, just like she has it here with a pair of denim shorts. Okay, so those are all the tops. So we have 9 options for you to choose from. And I think that tops are typically where I would focus most of my time. Number one, they typically take a lot less fabric. So if you're shopping for secondhand for your fabric, if you're upcycling sheets or towels or, curtains, whatever it is, you can typically get a top out of most of those items that you're purchasing secondhand. And if you are new here, I highly encourage you to either refashion items that you already have in your wardrobe or purchase those fabrics, unexpected or unconventional fabrics when you're out shopping secondhand, or even ask your friends and neighbors. So we want to take care of our earth, and that is one way you can do that. And that is why I focus on tops. Again, less fabric. Also, they tend to be a little bit faster because you don't have as much fabric. And also it's a great way to dress up your basics like your denim. Okay, so now if you like a dress or a jumpsuit, so I have 6 options here that I found that I'm really interested in. So the first one is from Tammy's Handmade. Again, this is a sheared dress. If you haven't ever worked with elastic fabric or done any shearing, I'm gonna tell you, it looks intimidating, but it is so easy. And the effect, as you can see in this picture, is phenomenal. So it's literally just stitching with elastic thread, and then it does this little scrunch up thing, and it just looks so put together. So in this video, she walks through how to do that process, and then it is a dress. I think she also has a version that's a little bit shorter, that's a top, but I did want to focus on this dress because, again, imagine this in, I'm thinking like a terry cloth would be super 70s boho, or just a fun cotton print could be cool too. Now, I had to include Jenna in this. Jenna Phipps, okay, if you don't watch Jenna Phipps, I have been a fan of hers for so long. Recently, I think it's been the last year, she's been doing a lot of fixing up a home she bought content. But before that, she did a lot of making and crafting content. So I really do enjoy what she puts out there. She explains things very clearly, and she's just a joy to watch. So I did include this one. This is just a DIY summer dress. It's very simple, and where the dynamics are going to come in are from the fabric choices. So in this, you can see she's using fabric that normally wouldn't go together, but it works. It has that really cool boho vibe. So definitely check out this for another little summer easy DIY dress. Now we're back to another mood pattern. So this one, the Fern Jumpsuit. Now, again, the picture makes it look a little bit edgier, right? I wouldn't wear this with heels. I would probably, you could wear this with maybe some clogs, some Birks, but I do love the movement in it. The one thing I'll say for me, it's always a little bit harder to wear those spaghetti straps because I do like to have some support on top. And I, don't really like having bra straps out there, but you could do some layering that you can make the straps a little thicker with this one. There's ways that you can certainly, hack this pattern to fit, your body type. Just to fit your body type. But I do love it. It kind of has those I Dream of Jeannie puffy legs that are really fun. And then you can do your own type of belt. So love this one, and I'm excited. I can imagine, like here, if we have a 90-degree day, I just want to throw on something that's going to be super easy, lightweight, but put together. And I think this would be a great choice. Okay, we have a few more items under dresses and jumpsuits. So this dress is another mood-free pattern. I'm telling you, and I'm not sponsored by Mood, but I just love their patterns. And, I did make recently the Spearmint corset pattern, and I went through that. There aren't a lot of written instructions, but you can typically find online folks that have made it and can share tips with you. But they are pretty easy to follow, in my opinion. And they're free. So this is the Bluebell Dress. And again, it has a lot of movement. So it could go a little bit more, very vintage. Like it could be kind of like that 50s, 60s aesthetic, maybe more 50s with this, but the cutout, that's what does it for me. So you have a little cutout here with the bow, and I think that's what's going to give it more of the boho vibe. And then I would max out that bow. I would do a really big oversized bow right there. So then I wouldn't worry about having so much skin showing. You probably could put a panel in there too if you didn't want to have that much skin showing. But yeah, I'm just thinking like a big bow here. And then I would probably take in those shoulders a little. My things tend to slip off, and I would like to have a little bit more security up there. But I do love the movement in this and the possibilities. Here's an item that I really love. And again, for ease and comfort, and this is from Peppermint magazine. I think it's a UK magazine, but they do have some free patterns over there. When I tell you I scoured the internet, I spent hours looking at all different patterns that, again, would be something that I would want to create. So in this case, this is just a wide strap dress, and then you have the slits up the side. So you could pop a sweater on over this. You could wear leggings underneath it. You could pull those slits up even higher if you wanted to. Lots of ways to hack this pattern right here, but it is free, and it would be a really great addition to have in your wardrobe. Just a little basic. Now, the last item in this category, dresses and jumpsuits, I realize that this should not be here. This should be in the next category, which is bottoms. But it's so amazing. We're going to talk about it here anyway. So this patchwork boho skirt, I mean, just look at this picture. And I think this actually was the inspiration picture for the Stitch Sisters. So the Stitch Sisters, they have a blog, and on the blog, in fact, let's just go here. I can show you. So these are the versions that they made. How stinking adorable. And it's actually pretty simple. So I read through this tutorial. This again was the inspiration. I love how vibrant that is. But it is so simple. I mean, they give you all of the instructions. They tell you how to cut it. It's great. And I'm looking forward to this one. I don't wear a lot of skirts. It's just not something that I tend to do, but I feel like this would be a great way to use up a lot of fabric scraps, long strips of scraps that you might have. So I definitely have included this one. And if you do make this, please, in fact, if you make any of these, please share with me. I want to see how you're going to change these patterns and really pull in your own aesthetic. So now we're on to bottoms. So I guess that skirt was a bottom, but let's take a look at some more. Another mood fabric pattern. This is the Aster Pant, and I do love this one. Again, you can hack it and add this patchwork look to it, which is what I want to do. So this is another free pattern. I don't think this one's elastic. So the last pattern I shared, that skirt was an elastic top, so super, super beginner friendly. With this one, I would have to dive a little deeper, but it does look like it's going to be probably a button zipper closure, but I do really love the shape of it. It has the wide leg, and then of course you can do one solid pattern if you have a really fun print, or you could do multiple. So excited about creating this one. And then you could just, again, rock one of those little crops that you make, one of those little one of those halter tops with it, and I think that you would have the perfect outfit. Now, I included this mood pattern for those of you that enjoy wearing shorts. I do not enjoy wearing shorts at all. I've never enjoyed shorts. When it gets hot enough, I mean, if it's like 100 degrees, which there are days that get to be 100 degrees, then yes, I'm gonna wear shorts, around my house, but I'm not gonna go out in public in them. It's just not something I feel comfortable in, but I wanted to give you an option because these are a great short. They have that high rise here. And yes, they let me look a little more modern in this image here, but that's just the way that they have it styled. So if you were to style these, you could even do a solid color if you just wanted to have them as just like a nice solid piece in your wardrobe. You could add some little pom-poms to the bottom. You could add different prints to it. Just lots of different things that you can do to make this a little bit more boho, a little bit more fun for spring, summer if you're looking for that 70s vibe. But again, I love a high-rise anything, and I thought you all might enjoy this as well, especially because it's another free pattern from Mood. All right, and the last item in this category of bottoms is this pair of wrap pants. Now, you've probably seen wrap pants. Wrap pants have been around for so long. I mean, I remember wrap pants from when I was like a little kid. So wrap pants are not anything new, but I did check out this YouTube video and it does seem pretty easy to follow. I didn't watch the whole thing through, but it seemed pretty easy to follow. And what I liked about it is they show you how to convert it into a jumpsuit. So this could be an interesting one, especially if you have like a really fun, maybe a bed sheet. I'm just imagining a vintage bed sheet that you make into these easy flowy pants. And then really excited to see how to turn it into this jumpsuit here. So that one would be, again, and you can pop on like a pair of heels if you wanted something to go out in, pop on a hat and some Birks, and it's casual. So lots of things you can do with this pattern right here. All right, and then the last section, these are just miscellaneous items. Now, I want to include this, but I do want to point out, I understand there are some problems with using the term kimono. Obviously, that is appropriation of another culture. I don't condone that, but I will say I wear a lot of these toppers. So we'll just say open front shirt. So I know they're calling it a kimono here, but I would call it an open front, like long sleeve shirt. And as we're transitioning between spring and summer, even in summer, there are some nights that get a little chilly. I don't want to pop on a really heavy jacket, but I definitely want to put something over just so I feel comfortable. This also goes for, like you can see in this picture, she's wearing a halter top. Just having something over a halter, I don't feel so exposed. And these are really easy to self-draft. So this was just a video, I think it's 4 minutes long. I mean, it was a pretty quick one, and it really is super easy to understand. So I would recommend this if you're just looking for one of those lightweight tops to pop on as a transitional piece. I think I have like 6 different styles because I just wear them all the time. Now, I couldn't, wrap up this video without a couple of accessories because, you always have to have those accessories included in your wardrobe. So the 2 accessories that I wanted to share with you, these free patterns, the Boho patchwork bag from the Seam Whisperer. This is, I think there is an actual free pattern that you can download. So again, if you like those pattern pieces, there's written instructions that are very clear. And this is another one of those items that I do want to do patchwork like this. I want to use up my scraps. I want to, make sure that I am trying to use up every little piece of fabric that I can. And it just looks adorable. Now you can't see in this picture, but at the top of the bag, they actually have it knotted. So you can adjust the length of that because I like them to be a little bit longer so that they can be a crossbody, but again, probably adjustable. So can't wait to make that as well. And then the last piece as we round out our free patterns is this DIY patchwork scarf. So again, very similar in nature to what I did with the bow. It just looks like it's a bunch of squares stitched together and in a long rectangle. I mean, honestly, I didn't look at this pattern because, well, actually I did. It's from Instructables. So Instructables, sometimes will have some of these pretty basic patterns. Again, it's free, but you could use up a ton of your fabric scraps on this one, and then you could wear it in your hair. You could wear it around your neck. You could tie it on your bag. You can wear it as a belt. Like there's so many possibilities with this one, and that is why I wanted to end with this piece here because you can tie every little thing in your wardrobe together. So now that you have seen all 20 plus of these free patterns, let me know which of these you are going to try and which you want me to try first. I'm really excited to dive in and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe for other sewing related content, and until next time, everybody,